Yeah, it's not rain.
How
Right.
boring.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Division 2 ERN round 3. This is now? Yeah, round 3.
Yeah.
Hanoi here on the streets here in Vietnam, and we're looking forward to it. I'm Dame Zero, your lead commentator. Alongside me is our co-commentator, Mr. ERN Gibby. How are you doing today?
Yep, I'm doing good. Had a nice day off and glad to be back commentating Div 2, especially around, I think, our first street circuit, or I guess Australia counts as a street circuit, but first proper wall-to-wall street circuit of the calendar. So this is going to be fun.
It really is, it really is. No cars yet to go out on track. We're a minute into the session. No one so far has gone out, but I'm looking forward to see who's going to take it here. This is basically, Gibby, with this track, you've basically just, if you keep it out the wall, you're going to score a good position most of the time. Now, we do have a car leaving, which is a Renault of LH44, who's repping the old Nico Hulkenberg helmet there for some reason. Oh, as he nearly loses it straight away.
That'd be an interesting start to
Straight
the session.
away coming out the pits. Nearly loses it straight in the pit lane. That was very, very close. It is. Oh, and he nearly loses it again. Sending it straight away as LH44. It's not a grippy track, Gibby. I don't know how much you've been practicing for this when you were going to Div 1. You had the Div 1 race yesterday. But this track doesn't grip at all.
Yeah. Zones and how you can get the power down. And
ooh, there he goes. LH44 is round. He's round. LH44 is round and has left the session. That's a shame. That is a shame.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him back because Vietnam, in my opinion, is a horrible track. I hated doing any form of practice for this track. It is not fun.
Right, I've got that glitch again. With me, I haven't got thingy in my headset. So they haven't got game volume either. Apparently, the stream. There we go. Should be fixed now. Should be fixed now, Frank.
Pausing. I tried just pausing and unpausing. I had it last week, I think, and that fixed it.
Right. Yep. All sorted. Right. Thank you, Frag. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't have it in my headset either. It was one of the things I was planning on doing. It's just LH44 was going on a bit of a skit. Right, so the first person to set a lap, Gibby, will be the Red Bull of Nicki Minaj. And now I've got to support him here because I'm also... Is it Ireland?
I think Ireland's
just
in front of him.
He must have overtook him. Yeah, he must have overtook him. It is going to be NRC Ireland. Now, I've got to support the Red Bull and Nicki Minaj and Avoki because they're the dual constructors with me down in Division 3. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to pull it in the bag. But we're on board with NRC Island now. Let's see what time of lap he's going to put it in. So he will be the first person to get provisional pole. Who do you think is going to take the pole position here today in qualifying?
I've got to be honest. To me, it's really up in the air because this track is just so it's all about whether you can get the lap in or not, and it's so difficult to get the traction down in all these corners. It's just going to be whoever nails it. But if I was going to have a guess, I'm going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw out Mirrors. Mirrors, I think, got pole last time out in Bahrain, and unfortunately his controller disconnected in the race on the first lap. So I think he's going to come back with something to prove here today.
Oh, I think there's a Mercedes back in track, and it was Mirrors, I think. Was that Mirrors? It was.
I think
Mirrors
he was just
off
going slowly to let people. He was just going slowly to let people through. But yeah, I'm gonna back Mirrors for this one. He seems to be. I mean, in Bahrain, he seemed dominant in terms of one lap pace. So I think he's gonna do it again here today.
Indeed, and NRC Island still on his lap. He's not invalidated it yet. There's not really that many places to invalidate it at this track. It's only the roundabout sections. If you cut them too much, that's the only places you can really invalidate. Due to it being a street circuit and being so close to the walls, there's not many places. As a Focky trying to get out the way there of NRC Island, flying round. Island sets a 1:35 dead. A really good, solid time banker lap there. Nicki Minaj comes in third with a 1:36.1. NR Starker Way goes top now with a 34.6. Christoph goes second with a 34.8. Arndt goes to 35 dead. Eke Baloba goes to 35.1. We also have the McLaren now of Valex with a 34.7. The Red Bull is that Avoki? Yeah, starting his lap now. Bergwitz goes 7th with a 35.7. Storm goes 2nd with a 34.6. That's a good lap from him. I know he's been struggling in practice, so that's really good for him. We also have Matrice with a 36.5. Who else do we have coming in at this moment in time? I think Octane did a 35.1. If we've got any others, you know, Avoki's on a lap. Skeefy's about to come around the final corner now. Skeefy, what's he going to set? He goes top with a 34.1. He sticks on provisional pole by 0.5 of a second here in the first laps. But we still have a couple of people on laps at this moment in time, which include Avoki. We also have, I think Ramos is out there again. Got slipstream a bit there off the Williams, but I don't know if he's on a full flying lap. Mirrors is also out there, but he seems to have backed off. Breezy's about to come across the line. He goes 10th with a 35.2. Who else do we have? Avoki is still going through. He's about to go through the final sector now in the Red Bull. I think at the moment, he is the only person on a lap.
Yeah, this final sector is pretty much the only point on the track you can properly invalidate it. You can cut some of the earlier corners and run a bit wide, but I think it's only really this section here. But as we see him coming up to the line now, let's see what time he's going to set.
See where he does. Where does he put himself? He goes 10th with a 35.2. Not a bad banker. As long as you get that banker in, you can really start pushing it. As Ramos is about to cross the line now, and he goes 6th with a 34.9. That's a good lap from him also, a good banker lap. Mirrors is still out there, but I don't think he's on a lap, and I'm not too sure if he's going to come back in or he's going to stay out. D6W has gone out on his out lap. Mirrors, is he going to pit or is he going to go out one more time? He's going to go out one more time and see how he gets on. So we'll stay on board with him for now. So with the first round of the qualifying session so far, Gibby, what are you thinking? A big gap there between Skeefy and Darker Wade as Mirrors set to 1:45.8, but he's going to start his proper lap time now.
Yeah, very good first lap there from Skeefy, and the other thing that's going to fill him with a lot of confidence, having such like a big gap to the cars behind at the minute. I mean, with a banker lap like that, I think that's a fairly good time from him, so he's not going to have to worry too much about making mistakes now. He can just really push it, and even if he crashes or makes a mistake, that'll probably still put him, I'd reckon, top 5 with a time like that. But you never know with track evolution. The track might just get much faster towards the end of the session, but we'll wait and see. But so far, a really good showing from both of the Haas boys, both running in P1 and P3.
Yeah, I was speaking to Storm yesterday. He was really not confident at all. Couldn't get any grip. He was really struggling with the setup, and that's really good to see that he's put himself in P3 on the first round of his qualifying. So it'll be good to see if he can improve on that as well. As Mirrors just comes in now to this hairpin. Now, really, you've got to be bang on with this hairpin, because if you're... Oh, as he tries to get on the power and nearly loses the back end there a little bit. As the problem is with that hairpin is if you brake too late, you're in the runoff, and there's nowhere for you to go. You've really got to get that braking zone spot on as he goes through into sector 3, and he gets this nicely done. Can cut a little bit the curves, but you've got to be careful, especially with no traction control. It can send you straight off into that wall. Down second, up into third, round into the final corner. Let's see where he's going to put it. DRS is wide open across the line, and he goes second with a 34.2. That's really good from him. Not a bad lap. Really good banker. He can get back in the pits and go in for another lap. The only person I think is out on a lap at this moment is, I think Samuel's on a lap, and I also think D6W is on a lap, and I think Samuel is further along the track by the looks of it. Yes, he is. He's Williams at this moment time down the back straight.
D6W set his lap just before Mirrors as well, putting himself P2 with a 34.4. So some of the guys starting to come in here now and starting to challenge Skeefy there. So it's getting closer.
Yeah, indeed it is. Samuel going into sector 3. It's such a tight area, sector 3. The slightest mistake can really put you in the wall or take at least a second off you.
Yeah, I mean, around here as well, the curbs, like some of the curbs are just absolutely massive and you just don't want to get on them at all. Whereas some of the other ones, they're like so thin, you can just completely cut them. So it's just knowing where you can use them, where to avoid them, and when they're your friend and when they're not.
Yeah, Samuel goes P10 with a 35 dead as well. We've got other people on laps now. They're going to come in thick and fast. I think the first one is a McLaren of Arndt. Yeah, he will be the first one of all the other people who are setting times now. And let's see if he can improve on his lap time at this current moment in time. Just about to come down to the hairpin now of the back straight. Now, Gibby, with track evolution in this, let's talk about the race. With track evolution in the race, do you think it was easier on the mediums for the race strategy or the hards, or did you think that the softs were the best? Oh, as Arndt goes slamming into the barrier there, took a bit too wide and goes straight into the barrier, damaging his left end plate on his front wing, and that's really going to hurt him. Is he going to back out with this and go straight into the pits? I think I would, and yeah, he is straight back into the pits, get that wing changed and get back out. That's a big shame for him there. The next person, as Island hit the wall there as well, going into that corner. That was big for him. The person coming across the line is going to be the Ferrari of Ireland. He goes third with a 34.3. The next person across the line is going to be a Racing Point. And it is going to be our Christoph, I think. Our Christoph doesn't improve, stays to third. Red Bull now. Octane goes top with a 33.8 in the Ferrari. The Red Bull of, I think that was Nicki Minaj, doesn't improve either. The Haas now with David Storm coming around the final corner. DRS is open. Crosses the line. He goes 7th with 34.5. The Williams now of it's going to be Bergwitz. Bergwitz crosses the line, doesn't improve. The McLaren of NRC Valex comes across the line, and I think he's just starting his first lap. Behind that, we have Total Recoil 36.4 on his first lap there. That's not good for him. Right down at the bottom there, that's unfortunate for him. And I think there is just a Renault now, which is in sector 3 of ERN. Ramos, who's just gone past the pit lane, going into the second to last corner now. Got to get really good on the power here, but not enough, so it slides out. He's about to start he's on a flyer. He's about to start his lap, but he might have just damaged his end plate there by hitting that wall. I think one of the Mercedes there is just about to start his flying lap, or comes across the line. Yep, starts his flying lap of a... Yeah, about to start it now. In P16, yeah. Mr. Booty there. I got confused there because it came up saying the time that he's just set, so it really confused me.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're saying about the race tyres, I think the mediums, I think all of the tyres last a lot longer than you'd expect. I know that I think we had a safety car on the first lap, and I think if I'm correct, I think what Relic Nut did was he came into the pits under the safety car, switched to mediums, and then switched back to his hard tyres, and then took those to the end. I think he finished like top 5 or something like that. So the hards can pretty much last the entirety of the race here, but they are not the quickest tyre to be on.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Gibby. Ramos just got a big toe there from the Racing Point of D6W it was. Got a big toe there all the way down the back straight, full slipstream all the way. So that was really, really a smart move, especially in a track here, where track position is everything. With overtaking, the only place that you can overtake really is the back straight and a couple of areas in sector 3, which I've found. But a slipstream could really improve his time here, and he's about to come around the last corner as he hits the wall and hits that wall. Big mistakes there, which cost him a second there. And that's a really big shame. Damaged both sides of his wing. Really a big shame there. Could have been on for a good lap.
Yeah. And also just lost him so much time doing that. It just shows how quickly a lap can get away from you. Just one mistake around here and you're losing tons of time.
Yeah, that's all it takes. All it takes. One slight misjudgment of a corner and you're gonna hit that wall.
As Ramos just gave a bit of a toe back to D6W, I just saw there, he nearly went straight into the back of him, but probably gained him a few tenths maybe there with that.
With the street circuits that we have, Gibby, we've got, let's put the proper ones. So we've got Hanoi, we've got Monaco, we've got Baku, and we've got Singapore. I think that's all of them, isn't it, the street circuits that we have?
I think so, yeah, I think you're right with that.
Proper street circuits. Which one is your favourite out of them all, and which one were you looking for? Are you going to be looking forward to maybe the rest of the season, or the one that you had yesterday? What's the ones that are your favourites in there as Mirrors goes top? with a 33.5. That is a really good lap there from the Mercedes.
Yeah, great lap there from Mirrors. I think the most favourite street circuit for me has got to be Singapore out of all of them. I mean, it's just got so many like different corners, and it's all about tyre management there and just keeping the tyres in check for the entirety of the race. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of street circuits to begin with anyway. I enjoy doing qualifying around them, but the actual races themselves are just horrible. As D6W comes up to the line here, he's let off a bit at the end there, not sure.
Yeah, he was 5 tenths, but he was 5 tenths slower on that lap. Skeefy's down the back straight at the minute. He's currently in P3. Can he pull something out of the bag to maybe get onto provisional pole and maybe, just maybe, get maybe even a front row lockout?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But I think someone who really needs, or in fact two people who really need to see some luck this weekend has got to be Storm and Mirrors. Both of them, the first 2 rounds definitely did not go the way they wanted it to. Especially Storm, I think he's still yet to score, in fact, and he's definitely one of those drivers who could be challenging for the title in Div 2, so it'd be interesting to see whether he can get a good lap in here.
Skeefy goes second with a 33.8. He was able to improve, but not by much, and that only puts him second for the meantime, as everybody else is on their laps or on their out laps now in the closing moments of this qualifying session here in Hanoi. Now, it's going to be very interesting as we've got NRC on a lap now, who's in P5 currently. We've got Christoph on a lap, in an out lap at this moment in time. Octane on an out lap, Valix on an out lap. Samuel on an out lap, Arndt on an out lap, Breezy on an out lap, Bergwitz and Recoil all on out laps. As I'm looking through now, I think Matriz might just be coming around the final bit. No, that was Total Recoil. As Island is getting held up by the racing point of D6W there, and he backs off and goes into the pits. Island really disappointed there. He's going to maybe just go for another run. Octane was spun round there as well. He was spun round in the second to last corner, which is strange, but I don't know what's happening there between the Ferrari boys, but it did look like Island got held up a little bit of that. Storm is coming around the final corner. I think we've got both McLarens. Valix is on a outlap. Arndt is also on an outlap ahead of him. So I think it's going to be the Haas that's going
one of the Haas cars.
First.
Yeah, I think it's Skeefy.
I think
he's on an
I think
lap,
Skeefy
so
will pit because it's going to
Yeah.
be Storm. As qualifying is now over, we're going to get them thick and fast now, ladies and gentlemen, of the lap times coming in. Will ERN Storm be able to get any higher than P8 as he goes, and he does the same mistake as Island did, puts it straight into the barrier, and there goes both end plates for him, and that's such a shame there, as we now have other people coming across the line. Now Matrice is retired from the session in the pits. Nicki Minaj comes across the line, doesn't do any better. Ramos is on an outlap. Samuel comes across the line now, he goes P9, that's a good lap from him. Arndt is still going. Red Bull of a Volky is on an outlap as he hits the barrier there on his in, and he's damaged his wing as well. That's not good from him. Breezy about to come around the second to last corner. Total Recoil goes P16 with a 35.1. Breezy, last corner now. Win the Mercedes, nearly loses the back end there. Breezy goes fourth with a 34 dead all the way from P17 and takes him all the way up to the top there. That was a really good lap from him. Christoph is on his lap, but he's invalidated his final attempt. That's a big, big shame there. Valex is still on his lap as well. Valex is in sector 3. There's also a Renault going into the second to last corner now. Let's see where he's coming to the pit, so he's backed off. Valex is about to come into the second to last corner. Let's see what he's able to do.
Arns is just coming across the line first. He hits the wall, but I think he's going to improve. 34.6.
Valex goes second with a 33.7, just 2 tenths off pole position. And it looks like, I think, there's only Darko Wade who's managed to get himself a lap, and Nicki Minaj, who it says is on a lap also. But Nicki Minaj is 9 seconds down. Darko Wade's invalidated it straight away. Avoki is thinking down. I think that is qualifying done. And it is going to go to the Mercedes driver of ERN Mirrors. Pole position for you here on the streets of Hanoi in Vietnam. A 33.5 takes pole position.
For once, I actually predicted it. Makes a change.
You actually did.
But yeah, an impressive lap there from Varlex as well. I think he was one of the guys last week that the race definitely didn't go his way. I think he was either running in P1 or P2 at the time, and then he got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, I think it was, which just completely killed his race. But so he'll be one to watch out for as well. Definitely one of the quicker guys in Div 2.
Yeah, it really was. Top three of Mirrors, Valex and Skeefy. Good lap there from Skeefy in the Haas to get that into P3 on the second row for him. Oxane in P4, Breezy P5 with that lap at the end. Christoph in P6, Island in P7, D6W P8. ERN Storm not having the best of qualifying, but he doesn't like this track. Unfortunately, he was struggling. He's got P9, and Samuel in P10 to wrap up the top 10 here in Hanoi. Really interesting qualifying session. We got a lot of people hitting the barriers as well, which wasn't the best for them. But it'll be interesting to see what people are able to drag out the bag, should we say, in the race. Who is your pick for your top three on the podium today?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go for Varlex to win, just because he's in a McLaren. We got to get some points. Might as well. I reckon Octane for P2, and then let's go Skeefy for P3. Though I would like to see Mirrors have a good race. I just have a hunch that it'll be those three on the podium myself, but I still think he'll do well.
Well, Mirrors has looked very good here in qualifying. 2 temps quicker than anybody else. P2 is more than 2 temps down, and P3 is just under 3 temps. Now, if he's got that pace, can he bring it into the race pace that he could have? Or has he just got the qualifying pace and the race pace could slip off, and maybe somebody like, say, Skeefy or Valex could take advantage of that? But we never know what's going to happen here, because this is Hanoi, and this is a street circuit, and this is going to be absolutely chaos. So it's going to be interesting to see who can keep it out of the wall, for one. 2, who's got the pace to stay out in front. And 3, who's got the best strategy.
Yeah, strategy will be an interesting one. Especially with the likelihood of safety cars probably coming out at any point during this race as well. It's all going to be who's on the right tyre at the right time, and you never know, we might have another Div 1 situation with a safety car with 3 laps to go. So you just don't know.
No, you really don't know. I mean, there is multiple strategies to this. You've got the one stop at the soft hard, or the medium hard for the outside the top 10 runners. So you've got them there. You've also got a 2-stop of a soft medium medium, or medium soft soft, or a soft medium soft. There's multiple ways where the drivers can do this, especially on a track that doesn't have that much grip. You picked, if I remember correctly, the medium hard, you said, didn't you, yesterday? And that worked out. You got P9.
Yeah, I managed to get P9 out of that race, but to be honest, I think if you get a lap 1 safety car, you can risk it with going to the hards to the end, but just the likelihood of having another safety car may open up the race. I think the smart thing to do, and in my opinion the best race tyre, is those mediums earlier on. They just they seem to have quite good pace, but the softs, I think, also last. The tyres last a deceptively long time around this track. I mean, you feel like they're going to go off really quickly, but they do last long enough. And especially with safety cars, they can just increase the longevity of your tyre stints anyway. So you can choose to pit or hang them out a bit longer in hopes of an even later safety car. So it's a lot of mind games around here on what you can and can't do for strategy. But Personally, I think the fastest strategy is doing soft, medium, maybe soft again. If you're, I just don't think the hards are a particularly quick race tyre. It's only really if you get no other safety cars and you have clean air and you've managed to gain that time on people.
Yeah, definitely so. There's multiple ways where the drivers are. There's going to be multiple strategies we're going to be seeing today. That's 100%. So it's going to be interesting to see what they are able to do here in Hanoi, especially on the street circuit. As long as you can keep out the barrier, you're going to get good points. That's highly likely, especially for us in Division 3 tomorrow. If anyone keeps out the barrier, you're going to score some good points, because there's going to be a lot a lot of wings damaged, and there could be a lot of wings damaged here today. It's just so narrow, especially in Sector 3. If you get Sector 3 wrong, it's going to end up very, very bad for you, especially if someone is brave enough to try and make a move in Sector 3, especially, and not down the DRS straight, and maybe capitalise on somebody's mistakes. It could really end badly. But it'll be interesting to see who is going to maybe take the risks in this race and want to get higher up and want to maybe put on a bit of a show here in the race. As we've got 2 new followers there. We've got Dingle Dolphin following it here on the Twitch, and by Kodo here on the Twitch as well. Thank you for following ERN. We do appreciate it. But especially with these strategies all in play, I think I didn't even mention my top 3, did I? So my top 3, I think, is going to be Skeefy P1. I think Mirrors will be P3. And who else was around the top 5? I'm trying to remember. I've got a memory of a goldfish.
Breezy, Octane, Christoph, who I think is a new runner as well. We've got D6W as well.
If I remember rightly, Christoph was in Div 3 last week. Am I right in saying that?
I think he's one of the guys that got moved up because, to be honest, Div 3 was way too quick for him. So, he was way too quick for Div 3.
P2. Christoph P2.
Okay.
I saw that pace in person last week, and that man has got some pace. Like, that man has some pace. Not as much as the person who won the race. He went straight to Division 1. But I'm gonna take a wild card there, and I'm gonna put Christoph P2 with Mirrors P3 and Skeefy P1. I think Skeefy needs a bit of luck, and if he keeps it out the barrier, he could definitely get something here.
I think another one to look out for is D6W, who I believe is the current championship leader as well, without actually winning either of the opening rounds, which is quite unusual to see. Usually it's someone who's won one of those races, so he's been consistently on the podium, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can make his way up there again today.
Yeah, it really is. We must be coming to the end of this 5-minute break very soon, and we'll be underway here for the formation lap. We've got some other people at the back of the grid. Is there anybody at the back of the grid that you could be potentially predicting for your top, maybe to top overtakers from the back of the pack? Maybe the ones that might be able to get ahead more than they should do round the streets of here.
I think one you've always got to look out for is Nicki Minaj. I think even in Bahrain, they made a load of places up on the opening lap, so they seem to be quite nifty when it comes to the start of a race. So that'll be one to watch out for. Definitely going to make some positions there. But looking outside the top 10, there's quite a few people running on the mediums and the softs, and Matrice and LH, who I'm not sure whether LH is actually back in the session or not.
No, he's
both
not.
Both of those guys running on the hard tyres. But Matrice will be interesting to see, because if he's running on the hards on his own, he's going to have a very different strategy to everyone else here. So could see him overcutting a lot of people here, which if he gets a late safety car could really play into his hands.
Yeah, it really, really could. There's a lot of things that are going to happen as we're getting ready now. 10 seconds to go until the formation lap round here in Hanoi. Predictions are in. The drivers are ready. Strategies are booked in, ready to go. But we never know what's going to happen until the lights go out here in Hanoi. And I cannot wait, and it's going to be very interesting to see who is able to, as the predicted strategies here are both two-stop, soft, medium, soft, and a soft, hard, soft, which is interesting, really. Soft, hard, soft, something I wouldn't really do, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I think you can do the soft to medium here. I believe Noam did it yesterday as well, but it's a lot of time managing. So it's, there's a lot of different strategies people can choose to do, but in all honesty, I don't really know which one is the quickest and which one isn't. I think you've just got to pick something that you're comfortable with, especially around a street circuit. As long as you're just in the zone, nailing the corners, you don't want to go too risky with it.
No, not at all. As we have some of outside the top 10 have gone for different strategies. Darko, Nikki, Ramos, Avoki, and LH with AI have all gone for the medium compound tyres. And one person in Matrice is trying to go long, and he's going to try and go on the hard compound tyres. What do you think it's going to be like, especially here with no track warm-up? With the track still being cold at the start of the race, do you think the hards will be a good strategy at the start?
I don't think they're a bad shout around here, to be honest, especially with the likelihood of a lap one crash around the street circuit and it going into a safety car, being on the hards and the mediums isn't the worst thing, because obviously you're probably not going to pit immediately anyway, and then you just gain a load of track position. The only thing is you still have to make that pit stop afterwards. But I think the main thing is just to sort of, there's two approaches you can have. You can just absolutely go for it and try and make up as many positions as possible, or you can just sort of chill out at the back and just wait for other people to make mistakes, which I think those people running the hards and the mediums is probably the strategy they're going to want to go for, because these guys on the softs are going to be rapid for the first couple of laps. So if they just stay calm, let those guys do the silly business and take each other out, and then just pick up the pieces afterwards, I think that's probably their best option in this race.
Yeah, LH44, it did say he's joined, so he's probably going to be back in the car ready for the race. I don't know what strategy he would have been going for, or the AI would have picked him one, that's for sure. So let's see if he is able to do anything coming back in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he can take control of his car until the race has actually started as well, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if his AI just keeps out of trouble, then gets him through the difficult bit of actually starting the race. You never know, you might. Also, the fact that ghosting's on as well. For this time, you never know. The AI sometimes get freakishly good starts, so could be a blessing in disguise for him.
Ghosting is on due to it being a street circuit. We don't want any clog ups in the corners, especially places like Baku with the castle section. But we're here now for Division 2, Round 3 here in Hanoi in Vietnam, on the streets. All 5 lights are on. Well done, Goldbusters. Fantastic work once again. Make it all dramatic and you ruin it. And it's lights out. And away we go. Mirror's got a decent start, but Valek's got an even better start. He's up into P2. Skeefy Breezy now in P4 as they go into turn 1. Around the roundabout section here in sector 1. There's a couple of cars all very close together. All battling side by side, trying to find the grip as much as they can. As everybody battles through, seems to be quite calm. Storm nearly goes there into the backup. NRC Arthur Wall still conjuring through now. All in a formation line. Darko Wade is making a move on ERN. Samuel, that job has been boxed off and done as they're all side by side now. Going into the second roundabout. Up ahead now. Valex is making a move on Skeefy. Skeefy's making that move and battling him. Skeefy moves up into P2 now. Valex is staying behind, trying to get the grip down as much as he can. Using overtaker, trying to use that slipstream. As there is an AlphaTauri in the background there. Straight into the barrier. And that was total recoil. Losing his end plate on the left-hand side. Lost it coming out at the edge of the roundabout and put it straight into the barrier. Nicki Minaj is making a move now on Eke Baloba as they all go down into the hairpin now as the Racing Points make contact together. Very slow down there. Storm, Nicki Minaj, Baloba trying to go around the outside of Nicki Minaj. That hasn't worked for him, and it's a virtual safety car for LH44, and Madrid has received a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with LH44.
Yeah, I missed what happened there, but I just saw LH's car just go straight on with the tyre missing there, so I'm not sure whether he went into the back of him, maybe. I'm not too sure how that happened. I didn't quite catch it, but very unfortunate for him. But once again, just looking at the position changes, Nicki Minaj making up the most positions on the opening lap with 3 places.
Yeah, really doing well there as Nicki Minaj as we're just about to come off the virtual safety car. He's made up 3 positions so far, and so is Matrice, but Matrice has had to pit now because of a damaged wing, I highly assume. So we got Darko Wave, Matrice and Total Recoil all in the pits. We've got Skeefy right behind Mirrors from Valex, from Breezy, from Octane, Island, R. Christoph, D6W, Arts, and ERN Storm rounding up the top 10 as the virtual safety car is away now. Is anybody going to step on the power too much, trying to come out of the corner? We've got Arts there. Storm is right behind him with Nicki Minaj. Everybody kind of close together as there's yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Samuel who's lost his end plate again. That's such a shame for him. I'm pretty sure he just pitted. No, he didn't, because they're still in the pit, so that wouldn't make sense. But he is now in the Williams, down in P16 with an end plate missing. Mirrors, Skeefy and Valex rounding up the top 3 at this current moment in time. Everybody in a little bit of a slipstream train here as R. Christoph and D6W have got them. R. Samuel has just picked up a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. That would have been hard for him, especially with a broken wing. Are the Racing Points going to battle here at the moment in time? I don't think the R. Christoph covers that hairpin off. pulls a bit wide and makes sure that job is done, and he keeps that position successfully. I can hear a lot of crashing in the background here. Belova and Ramos were battling. Ramos gets ahead of Eke Belova. As we have the back three just in the first sector, that's going to be a struggle. Looking at that of how far they are ahead of you, that's going to be heart-wrenching to you inside of how wrong the race has gone for you.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky for them not getting the full safety cars. Octane is just losing a load of positions here.
He's only sliding. He's got a damaged wing on both sides. Everybody's trying to get around him. Everyone, luckily, Ghosting's on, but he had a damaged wing on both sides. I think he tried to pull into the pit, but wasn't able to due to, I think, maybe a racing point going around the outside. Didn't catch that fully as Island and Breezy are battling now. They're in turn one. They're battling side by side, and now Christoph is going to try and make advantage of that. Both racing points, in fact, are trying to take an advantage of that, and both racing points go through at turn one. Round the roundabout they go, and Racing Point are racing rings round the Mercedes.
Yep, the Pink Merc taking charge here over Breezy. But a good start as well for D6W there. I believe he started in P8, so he's made up a couple of positions, as Arntz now gets past Breezy as well. So I wonder, he's got a bit of end plate damage as well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
so
he does have end plate damage.
The thing that sucks about this is he's also going to lose a huge amount of straight line speed here. No doubt Nicki Minaj is probably going to get him down the straight. Here we go, to the left-hand side.
Nicki Minaj is absolutely all over him. He knows exactly what he wants. There's the DRS. He shot his DRS there for a second, and that could have cost him, because Breezy looks like he wants a bit to fight back here, especially with a broken end plate. Is he going to try and make the move? No, Nicky stays ahead and boxes that one off as Storm and Belova, them two are fighting now, side by side between the Sauber and the Haas. The Haas stays around the outside, gets that move done, uses a bit of overtake to try and get away from him, and Belova tucks in behind, and it's going down now and has to wait. Oh, as he goes very wide, saves it there from the barrier, and nearly goes straight head on into that barrier, but manages to keep it, and that's lost him a second now to ERN Storm, as Samuel picks up a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings.
Yeah, Breezy's coming into the pits now. Oh, Breezy got a very annoying penalty there as he was coming into the pits. He got a 3-second. You've got to be so careful there, because if you're not in the white lines, you can pick up a warning. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see a few more drivers getting caught out by that. But I noticed during that battle between Eke and Storm that Storm actually does have a bit of end plate damage. So I think he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here from the cars behind, as long as they're all intact as well.
Yeah, they really are. There's a couple of gaps being made now at the top of the standings, in the top 10. However, we've got a battle here in the mid-pack at this current moment in time between, I think there's Storm, Eke Belova. Eke Belova had a little look there, but doesn't make the move. Eke Belova, Avoki, Bergwitz all sat behind. And then there's a 21-second gap to Darko Wade, which is a big shame. But we've got D6W, who's in DRS range of his teammate at this current moment in time, R. Christoph. The two racing points have been making money moves so far, running rings around the Mercedes are Breezy. Will they be battling each other? I don't think there's enough room there into the hairpin, and there's not going to be. But going further back now, Eke Belova is making a move on ERN Storm. He's going to send it down the inside. Can Storm challenge back? No, he doesn't. Stays behind, and Storm moves down to P11 and Belova up into P10.
Yeah, unfortunate for Storm there. Seems like the luck's still not coming his way, but it's a long race and you never know. Probably another safety car to go at some point in this race.
Yeah, Hanoi is one of them circuits that chances of a safety car are very high, so you can always be brought back into the race at any given time. But Avoki seems to be absolutely all over Storm pits. Storm does pit, he's changing his wing, and he's pitting, and he's going for that. I was about to say Avoki was all over the back of him there in the Red Bull. D6W is within a second still of his teammate.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if you get wing damage around here, the smart thing to do is probably just to pit as soon as possible, because you just don't want to make those mistakes. And if your car's understeering a load, that's the last thing you want when you've got walls so close to you. You'll easily enough to give yourself more
Breezy
damage.
Goes into the barrier there. Has he got wing damage? Breezy hit the barrier there. I think he's got away with it, but he hit the barrier there coming round turn where the last corner actually it was. I was about to say turn 2, but it wasn't. The last corner he went straight into the barrier there. It's a corner that a lot of drivers have been struggling on, but we've got the both racing points again. This time within 0.6 of each other. DRS is being used. Christoph is on 14% ERS. D6W is on 50%. There's a big gap there between them two, Breezy and Darko Wade. Them two were battling side by side now in the second roundabout as they make contact there. Darko Wade pushes Breezy off the track and is still pushing him off the track. Breezy is trying to fight back this with any way they make contact. Ooh. And there goes Darko Wade and Breezy. They both make contact. There would have been quite a bit of damage there. Breezy's missing an end plate from what I can see. Darko Wade has got no damage, but Breezy, I think, took most of that damage. I'm not 100% on his damage at this moment in time. Looks like he does still actually have both end plates, and he's going to battle now into the hairpin and gets ahead. But is he going to try and come back at him? Yes, he is round the outside, but gets forced off the track, Darko Wade, and he's not going to be able to make the move there.
Yeah, very aggressive driving from those guys there. Also seeing up in front of them, Bergquist and Avoki going wheel to wheel as well. So some battles starting to unfold in this race, but looking further up the field, Mirrors has just checked out. He's got himself a nice 2-second gap.
Ooh,
and
big lock up there. Avoki and Bergquist, they both go into each other, and they both go straight on at turn 1. And that's not going to be good for either of them. They both went straight on at turn 1. I think the Red Bull locked up, went straight on as the Williams tried to turn in, and there was nowhere for the Williams to go. And that put them both off the pack of Eke Balobra at this current moment in time.
Yeah, the two of them don't seem to have any damage though, which is good news, but just a bit silly losing time there.
Yeah, D6W is once again now within 5 tenths of his teammate. He's going to be using overtaking. He's got DRS now enabled. Got the slipstream. He's going to make a move here. He's surely got to make a move. He's in the slipstream. He's going to go for the inside line. He's going to take that into the hairpin. Who's the best of the late breakers? And it's D6W this time. But, ooh, I thought Christoph was going to try and do an under and over there. But D6W stays ahead, and he's got that move boxed off.
Yeah, I think this would be a smart move here from the racing points if they just sort of try to use each other's ERS here, while the one behind just sort of charges theirs up, the other one in front burns it, and hopefully they can close that gap to Island in front and start challenging for P4. As Island just leaves the session, I think he might have disconnected there. I'll see if I can get him back in.
Yeah, see if you can try and get him back in, see what you can do. But D6W got ahead now of our Christoph, and he's going to be trying to make a move. Arnt's pits. Arnt's has pitted. I don't know if he has damage, but he comes into the pits here on lap 7. As Wolf Racing Points is now within a second of his teammate. He's managed to pull out a gap, so his teammate could have been holding him up there a little bit. If you look further down the field, Storm is within a second of Darko Wade. Not had the best of races. He's now on the hard compound tyres. But he's still got a full front wing at this current moment in time, which is good for him. We also have Ramos on the back of Nicki Minaj in the Renault. He's trying to challenge the Red Bull into the roundabout. He's just dropping a little bit of time, but he has got DRS. Mustn't have had the best exit there in turn 3 and 4. Christoph is still within a second, so he might get DRS. In fact, he didn't get the best of exits there, and he actually might not get DRS there. I think he will. Nothing's coming up in his cut yet. There it is. He will get DRS, but I don't think he's nowhere near close enough to try and challenge D6W unless he uses literally all of his energy. But D6W has been catching up now on the AI of NRC Island, who's ahead, and he's ghosted, so he'll be able to just go straight through.
Yep, and Island's
NRC Island is back in. Yep, he's back in his car, so it's not going to be that easy as there's Breezy. Breezy's retired. Breezy's round in the roundabout section. I think that's the safety car, but it's only a virtual.
VSC. Yeah.
As you look aboard with Octane, there he is. 5-second time penalty for Valex for speeding into the pit lane. This is going to be perfect. I think Mirrors missed out on the virtual safety car. Skeefy, Valex, all diving into the pits. Christoph dives into the pits also. D6W and NRC Island stay out. Nicki Minaj stays out. Ramos stays out. Bergwitz pits. This is a bit of an advantage here to take advantage of the virtual safety car. Avoki stays out. Arnt is about to come round. Don't think he's going to pit. I think he's going to be staying out. Yes, he does. So a couple of drivers taking advantage of that virtual safety car and pitting under it. Skeefy was the big one, and he's come out back in P6 on fresh medium. So that's really worked out for him. Mirrors might have a bit of a gap there of 13 seconds, but if Skeefy can close that up, especially being on fresher tyres, he can really try and put the hammer down. Drive-through penalty for Christoph for speeding under virtual safety car conditions.
Yeah, I think what's interesting with those pit stops there is that was perfect timing if you're planning to do a 2-stop round here to come in and take that pit stop. So I can't help but feel that D6W, Island, and Mirrors, who've all decided to stay out on those soft tyres, I feel like they've got to commit to doing a one-stop now at this point if they're to keep where they are. I mean, maybe not Mirrors because he's
yellow flag sector
checked
1,
out the
and
top.
it's a McLaren, I think. Is it a McLaren?
It's a Ferrari. I think it's Octane.
It's a Ferrari of
gone for a
Octane,
spin.
yes it is. He's had a bit of a spin there and he's missing half of his wing. Half of the right side of the wing is all completely gone. Skeefy is really in a challenging position here at this current moment in time.
Yep, he's in a good position here, but he's going to want to clear Ramos and Minaj here on the older tyres. He can't spend too much time getting stuck behind him. Oh, as he just gets on the curb there.
Loses that. Wow, oh, wow. Big oversteer there for him as Island and Mirrors both pit. That's really not worked out well for them. I think if there was any way of challenging the undercut, that was the way. Mirrors has just left his pit box. And now where the lap brings you out, the pit lane brings you out, is in a decent area for Mirrors if Skeefy is being held up, which it looks like he is.
I was going to say, look how much time, though, Mirrors has lost to Skeefy. Like, Skeefy's already going past.
Yeah,
Mirrors
Skeefy's gone past.
Even behind Valex there, yeah.
That's really
So
hurt
Mirrors has lost out
absolutely massively.
Yeah.
He's got to get past Valex here, and so does Skeefy. Skeefy's got to get past Ramos and Nicki Minaj. They're all so close together. Ramos is trying to make a look. He defends the outside. Skeefy's got to have a look down the inside line. Oh, nearly hits Nicki Minaj, but keeps behind and doesn't damage his wing there. He was so close. Skeefy goes down the inside in the roundabout. Round the Red Bull. The Red Bull, no, the Red Bull spins. Got squeezed to the wall and have touched the wall with his front tyre. And straight into the wall he goes as Octane retires from the session. He is final corner. No, he's retired in the pit. Sorry, he has retired in the pits. That's a big shame there for Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I was going to say Avoki also lost it in the exact same corner by the looks of things. So
yeah,
the luck's just gone away from Red Bull there. Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. I'm in the Red Bull tomorrow. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that. But Skeefy is in such a good position now to maybe try and get this lead and run away with it a bit, while Mirrors is still behind Valex and Ramos.
Yeah, this is the time where Skeefy needs to push. This is the time where he needs to build a gap while Valex and Mirrors are stuck behind Ramos on the older tyres. But I was going to say D6W has just pulled into the pits now, but he was a little bit unfortunate. I think he decided not to pit under the VSC, but Christoph did. So
yeah, he couldn't follow him in. I think that was the main issue. Well, D6W was ahead actually, so Christoph had second call. Oh, as Valex nearly loses it there, trying to get the power down in turn 1. Mirrors is back into the pits. He's gone for the hard.
Yeah.
He must have wing damage.
Yeah, or maybe it's an interesting call for him to go on to the hard tyres there, getting away from doing the two-stop. So maybe just trying something different from Skeefy to see if it will work out. Obviously going for the win here, rather than
battling there for P2. Valex moves into P2 and maybe tries to close that gap now of 2.5 seconds to Skeefy. Skeefy got a nice little gap there. He's out at DRS range and he has a little bit less of ERS to play with than Valex, but Valex hasn't got that much either. Ramos is still right behind that fight. We also have Darko Wade and Storm fighting in turn 4, I think that is, going into the second roundabout.
Yeah, I was just riding on board there with Storm and he really struggled with traction coming out. I think he was trying to get on the back of Mirrors and maybe cause a bit of damage for him, or not cause damage, but just slow him up for his teammate Skeefy. But yeah, just very squirrely. I think, yeah, as he said to you, he just does not look comfortable out there with this track and the setup, and I can't blame him. It is a very difficult track.
He's going to make a move. No, he doesn't. The hairpin comes closer to him than he is to Darko Wade. That's such a shame there for him, as Christoph has pitted as well. Christoph hasn't got wing damage, and he's pitting.
Yeah, so an interesting one that. I wonder whether he's going on to... Or did he get...
Coming to the back, he's our penalty, and into the hairpin. Is he able to get that job done? Yes, he is. Ekinova stays ahead as D6W and Island were battling each other a bit further ahead. ERN Storm and Darko Wade are still battling each other in the middle of the straight, and he's made that move stick and got ahead of Darko Wade.
I was going to say Christoph nearly came back at Ekane. In fact, he's still having a sniff there. Can't get around. But yeah, great racing from these two. Really close. but they've lost a lot of time to Evoki in front.
Yeah, they really have. There is a couple of places in Sector 3. I don't know if you've noticed, Gibby, when you had your race yesterday, where you can send it in Sector 3. There's the odd 1 or 2 corners where you can just hang it around the outside as Ramos pits for soft tyres. And he comes in off the mediums, I think he was on, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure.
So it'll be interesting to see with Ramos. So I think he's going for the 2-stop, but he's gone from medium to soft, so he'll be very quick in these later stages. So hopefully we'll see some overtaking moves from him as he's having a look around the outside of Christoph there as he comes out of the pit lane. Nothing to do there, but he might have a go down the straight here. Let's have a look.
See if he's able to put Christoph under even more pressure like Eke Belova did. And Christoph could really be under threat here. Going around the roundabout, he's going to make a sniff. No, he has a little look, but doesn't. And there's a Williams of ERN Samuel sideways. He's lost a full wing. Full wing there in Sector 3.
Yeah, shame for some of these guys just really not getting along with this track. But here comes Ramos now. He's got a great exit out of that corner, and he's just going to go straight past, no problem there. And Eke's right on the back of Evoke here, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can get a move done into the hairpin. Having a look for it.
5-second time penalty. Yeah, Samuel retires in the pits. Mirrors behind is fighting Bergwitz as well. Ramos, there's a yellow flag, Sector 3, but nope, that is still Samuel. That caught me off guard. Christoph is looking, trying to see if he can get round Ramos, and there's a little queue stacking up here behind NRC Island. No, it's behind D6W actually, isn't it? Queue of cars behind. No, it's behind Arntz. It's behind Arntz.
More Arntz. Yeah, I was going to say it's more Arntz, but Arntz has a bit of end plate damage, but he pulls into the pits. Yep, so he lets them go.
In that pack. And Ramos on the fresh softs, especially. Voki's on 11 lap old mediums. Ramos needs to clear and box all these guys off as quickly as he possibly can.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him though with this DRS train. He's going to really have to capitalise on their mistakes like that there as Eke Belova goes in deep. But he can't quite get anything there. He's just got to bide his time, wait for those mistakes and pounce when he can. That's all he can really do now at the moment.
It's the patient game. That's what it is. It's the patience that you need to have, especially around street circuits like this. You've got to wait for the right opportunity. Otherwise, it could end up resulting in screwing your own race up. As Skeefy at the front of the pack is looking very comfortable there. He's got a 3-second gap. Islanders on the back of D6W. Belova has made a move on Evoki, and Ramos has also made a move on Evoki in the second roundabout. They're all fighting now. Islanders trying to make a move on D6W. He goes to the inside line going in towards the hairpin. The Racing Point and the Ferrari side by side. Goes for the move. The Racing Point trying to hang around. Oh, they make contact! Island is in the wall. Island... That looked a bit D6W on the screen. It looked like D6W just turned into him and kept on going as Ramos gets behind now. He goes around the Voki. Eke Belova is going to look to maybe try and take advantage of NRC Islanders. Belova goes wide there. Christoph is right behind. This is very, very unforgiving here at this current moment in time in Hanoi. As there's a yellow flag Sector 3 and it's Bergwitz. Bergwitz is round. Bergwitz is round in Sector 3. Just on the start of the S's, and he's missing another end plate. Big shame here for Samuel.
Yeah, as Evoki's just pulled into the pits. Be interesting to see whether he goes for the hard tyres here, or is he going to go for the softs and go for the 2-stop.
That releases Ramos now on fresh softs.
Yeah, this has all gone perfectly for Ramos there. Him making those moves there and the instant with Island further up has just released him into some lovely clean air here where he can actually use these soft tyres. So his 2-stop's probably going to work out quite well for him. Whereas,
really
yeah, I was just going to say, whereas further back, some of these other guys, especially if the guys behind on the medium start battling a bit more, it will just solidify that P4 for him.
Yeah, it really would. It's going to be interesting to see how this can still pan out, because we know, Gibby, a safety car can come out here at any time. All it takes is one mistake. Now, we've only had VSC so far. Nothing really. Oh, as Belova gets a bit squirrely there coming out the exit of the second roundabout. We've still got this line now behind NRC Island. It's a bit of a 3-second gap now between him and Ramos. So it's not really worked out for everybody else who was fighting that battle with Ramos. Ramos has been able to get a gap ahead, and Belova's closing in, and everybody else is closing in behind him, but no moves are going to be made. These are the closest people at this current moment in time. The rest of them have got gaps between them, but at the moment in time it is between 5th and 7th.
Yeah, interesting little battle here as well as Mirrors. He's catching up behind this little train as well on his hard tyres, so he won't have to pit again either. I'm not sure about the guys in front here, whether they can take these tyres to the end. I reckon they can, but they'll start to go off in the end, and I reckon Mirrors will start picking them off.
Well, talking about the fight at the front, Skeefy, I think, will pit lap 20 and come on the softs. That is when I think around lap 19 to 21 he'll come in and pit on the softs, and maybe try and bring it home. I don't think the mediums are capable of going to the end, but you never know. As Christoph tries to make a move on Eke Baloba in the roundabout and got a bit squirrely himself and nearly oversteered straight off the track, but he managed to regain it and keep control. He's less than 5 attempts now to Eke Baloba, and now he has DRS with ERN mirrors breathing down his neck. Now, we were talking about the racing points taken. Oh, as he goes straight down the inside there, and he gets that clearly done. The DRS advantage working well. We were talking about the racing points running circles around the Mercedes before with Breezy, as he sends it around the outside of of Baloba trying to fight back. They're still side by side now. Not too sure what's going on.
Here comes Mirrors.
We're going to have a little taste here of what's going on. He's in slipstream of both of them. He's staying behind D6W of Christoph it is. And Eke Baloba's around the outside and trying to go 3 abreast now. Going down into the hairpin. Where is Mirrors going to come off? He's going to go round the outside of Eke Baloba. Can he make that one stick? Yes, he does. He takes 2 cars in 1 corner. And that's exactly what Mirrors needed to release himself away from the pack.
Yeah, great move from Mirrors there. Definitely move of the race so far. What a good job from him, and definitely making a bit of a comeback drive at the minute. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, because I'm just thinking if Skeefy's going to pit again, I reckon he's going to come out around where Ramos is. So I think Mirrors has still got about 5 seconds that he's maybe going to have to make up on track if he's going to get anywhere near to catching Skeefy. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But those hard tyres I think will be fine to the end. It will just all depend on what pace he can pull out of them.
Yeah, like we say though, the hards are just going to get better and better the more he goes round. And especially with some of the medium runners around him, it could really work well for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, is it doesn't seem like him being on the harder compound is lacking in pace. I mean, both Christoph and Baloba on the medium tyres, but Mirrors seems to be just as quick as those guys, if not quicker, as he's now coming onto the back of Ireland here. He's closing this gap down very quickly.
Onto the back. Christoph is onto the back of Eke Baloba as Eke Baloba hits the wall there. Did he get wing damage? No, he didn't, luckily enough. Christoph in the racing point is very close behind him. Them two are still battling after Mirrors came in and wiped the floor with him. These two still want to battle with each other as Christoph goes around the outside, but he hits the wall there, right on the edge. No wing damage, luckily, once again. And Christoph makes that move done and going into the hairpin gets 7th place. But gaps are really beginning to spread out here. The only person within a second is Eke Baloba of Christoph, but Mirrors is really bringing down the time with NRC Ireland and the Ferrari. Ireland doesn't have any wing damage. I think he's just struggling on them 7-lap-old mediums at this current moment in time. And the hards are seeming to come into a bit of their own at the minute.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I felt yesterday that the medium tyre seemed to be the better race tyre, but for Div 2, they seem to be finding the hard as Eke pulls into the pits now. So that battle between him and Christoph has come to an end. But Mirrors already within DRS of Ireland, and no doubt I think he'll be looking to make this move as quickly as possible.
Yeah, definitely so. Do you think Skeefy will go try to take the mediums to the end, or do you think he'll pit maybe within the next lap or two and get the softs on and maybe try and take the fight to Mirrors, especially with him being on the hards?
Yeah, it's a difficult one for him. I mean, he could go for that pit stop.
As Mirrors is going to send it around the outside here. He's very close, but no, he's not going to make that move. But he could make it into the roundabout. Sorry to interrupt you there, Gibby. But he could make take an advantage here of NRC Ireland if NRC Ireland struggles to get the power down. And he's very close now in the slipstream as we have a yellow flag sector 1. And I think that was something to do with the McLaren back there. I think it's NRC aren't. But Mirrors now is round. Ooh, it goes to Ireland, defends the outside. Mirrors goes for the inside. No, sorry. Ireland defends the inside. Mirrors goes to the outside. Maybe I forget it right. I won't have to repeat it.
Either which way, Mirrors is passed. But yeah, what I was saying was Varlex pulls into the pits now. What I was going to say about Skeefy was it was going to be interesting to see whether someone like Varlex or D6W tries to last these mediums out to the end. I think it is possible, but they are really going to drop off towards the end of the stint, whereas these hard tyres are going to be completely fine. So Varlex, again, he's got a 5-second penalty to serve as well, so he's going to be really far down the order, but he's going for another set of mediums. Yeah, Christoph's in. Let's see what he goes for.
He'll be probably gone for the softs. There's no other tyre really to pit for apart from the softs this late on. And the softs will do 10 laps easily. Most of the time they don't, but there's an 18-second gap now between Skeefy and D6W, so he's nearly
Here we go, as
got a full
Varlex
pit
gets out
stop.
just in front of Mirrors. So Varlex has managed to get in front of Mirrors on the softer compound tyre, so this could be a real spanner in the works for Mirrors here. But also that shows that if Skeefy wanted to pit, he would come out, you know, a good couple of seconds in front of these two now. So I feel like if he's going to do it, he's going to want to do it now before he gets undercut by Varlex.
Yeah, definitely so. I'd put the soft compound tyres on, maybe one more lap, go round, and maybe put the softs on. And then at least you know you'll be 100% quicker than Mirrors on the hard compound tyre. And you'll also be quicker than Varlex in the starting rounds, as long as that tyre wear isn't too bad. And Nicki Minaj is very close to Christoph, and that's the Sector 3, and that's Total Recoil, who has retired in the pits.
Yeah, just looking at the drivers at the minute, I think the one to look out for will be D6W. I honestly wonder whether he's going to try and stay out on those mediums and go to the end on them. I don't think it's a bad shout for him to try that. It's an outside shot at getting the win there. But especially with the guys behind, if they're all going to get bunched up and start battling one another, he could just sort of nurse those tyres home.
Yeah, he really can, but there's a lot of gaps now beginning to form. We are in that pit strategy areas where no one's really together that much, but we know that it's going to bunch up as soon as the pit stops are done. Skeefy, I think, is actually pulling out more lap time on D6W. He's pulling out more and more time on him. He's now 18.5 seconds quicker. Ahead, sorry, should I say, not quicker. I'm getting me word. Put me down. Just put me down, Gibby. I'm getting me words wrong. Oh, she has a yellow flag and in Sector 2, but I think that's Total Recoil's broken, retired car for some reason that comes out of the pits. Christoph is right behind Nicky. No, he's right behind Avoki actually. He's trying to get past on the medium compound tyres, looking for any way around there in the roundabout section, but I don't think he's able to do it. But he'll be looking to make a move. Oh, as he gets a bit hairy, gets caught on the curb and nearly goes straight into the barrier. But is he able to close that gap up? Is he going to try and send it? I don't think he's close enough, but he'll definitely make and have a look down the back straight now into the second roundabout area. Could be a possible overtaking opportunity, especially if them hards don't grip us. They are making contact with each other, and he's rolling a lot of the curbs. But is he able to do anything? He puts it in overtake, but Avoki also has less ERS, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle. It's just going to come down to DRS now as he goes round the outside of the Red Bull, and he's going to take the inside line into the hairpin.
Oh, and Skeefy's pit.
Nicely for him.
Skeefy is in the pit, so no doubt he'll be going on softs.
I think he's definitely made the right call there. He has definitely made the right call. The soft, I don't think the mediums will last that well. As D6W is now coming down the pit straight. Where is he going to come out? Where is Skeefy going to come out? He's been passed by Ramos also. Balex has just put in the fastest lap of the race with a 1:38.6, and he comes out side by side and keeps ahead of D6W. That was absolutely pinpoint perfect there for the Haas of Skeefy.
Yeah, great job from Skeefy. I think all race he's just he's managed this race incredibly well.
I'm really looking forward to this because this actually might be my first ever race
I was going to say
prediction. Because I said Skeefy at the start. I looked at Skeefy's position. I went, "You've got a shot. I think you've got a shot," and he's proved me right. He's proved me right, as Ramos is very close down to D6W. He's on the soft compound tyre, but he's on 7 lap old softs. And he'll definitely be pitting again because the softs will definitely not last another 8 laps on his car.
Yeah, I think I can't remember what my top 3 was, but I think I said Varlex for the win. I think it was Skeefy and Octane. I can't remember which 2 I had it around, but yeah.
I think I said, if I remember rightly, I said Skeefy, Octane, Mirrors. And then Octane's crashed out. So it'll be interesting to see as Christopher's trying to go around the outside of Darko Wade now. Round the outside down the straight, which leads into the inside line of the hairpin. And is he able to get that move done? Yes, he does. Darko Wade just trying to get to the end. He's on 17 lap-old hards, is Darko Wade. And he's just trying to get to the end now and capitalise on any mistakes or any... I'm trying to think of the word. Any safety cars. There we go, safety cars.
Yeah, I mean, we still could have one, but it looks like the game's been giving us VSCs as D6W and Ramos decide to pit. So that's going to release Varlex and Mirrors. Be interesting to see where these two come out, because they're both probably going to go for the soft cars. Yep.
Well, ERN Storm's just come around the final corner. He's led it quietly. He had a bit of a mix-up at the start, but he's led it quietly on them hard compound tyres. D6W and Ramos are just coming out the pits now.
Storm's just gone round. Ah.
David, I'm sorry. It's the curse of the commentator. I'm sorry, David. I'm so sorry. No.
I can't believe you've done that.
Don't try and put this blame on me, Kimmy. No. I'm doing my job. It's not my fault.
Yeah, unfortunate for Storm there.
No, the horrible thing is, though, Gibby, I was speaking to Storm yesterday, in fact, and he was saying how confident he's not feeling and all this, and I was there, like, I turned around to him and went, if you crash out or you make any mistake, I'm just going to let you know I'm going to be laughing, and he's just done it, and I've burst out laughing. Oh, no.
You know what it is? I think it's the number on his car. He's got the number 13 on his car. I mean...
Oh, David, yeah, get rid.
It's the Maldonado number, that. That being said, I think Skeefy's running the exact same number, so...
Is he actually? As he goes, he's already pulled a 10-second gap now. All he has to do is cruise and get this... Yeah, he is. He's running number 13. He actually is. NRC Island pits, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. That's a big hit for him.
Yep, so he'll fall further down the order. But someone who I think he's done very well, actually, is Varlex with... I think he even got a 5-second time penalty, but he's managed to keep P2 at the minute. It'll be interesting to see whether Mirrors can come back at him with the hards probably later on, maybe towards the end, but we'll wait and see on that one. Let's just see where Island comes out as Storm's also pitted.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Storm's not going to be happy at all. NRC Island comes out in P8 behind Avoki and ahead of Nicki Minaj. Darko Wade gets ahead of Storm. Storm's getting a new front wing change. He's not going to be happy. It's such a shame for him. Not really much battles at this moment in time. Skeefy's absolutely walked away with it. 10-second gap there. Strategy has clearly worked. Absolutely perfect for him.
Yeah, and it's much like last week, just getting the strategy right. I think Octane did a one-stop on the softs and took them much longer into the race around Bahrain. And just no one was near him at the end, just completely controlled the race. And I think once again this has happened for Skeefy. I mean, I think what was it? He pitted under the VSC and just gained so much time thanks to it. So just the right strategy call for him, and it's worked out perfectly.
ERN Storm went in and he's got the soft compound tyres on. He's right behind Bergwitz now. He's right behind this Williams, and he's going to look to take advantage of that. He's already in the slipstream. He's got such a better exit now on Bergwitz, and he's looking to get this job done. He will have DRS, but he's probably going to be alongside before the DRS kicks in. DRS is now open as he takes the outside line going into the hairpin now, and he gets ahead of Bergwitz, but will Bergwitz battle it back? No, he doesn't. D6W and Ramos both setting fastest laps of the race. Now, I'm looking at where D6W and Ramos are. With Mirrors being on the hard compound tyres, 8 seconds. Oh, was Ramos and D6W there battling? The D6W is ghosting in and out of Ramos. And Ramos gets ahead. Now, if it was 8 seconds, it's now a 9-second gap between them and Mirrors. Do you think they'll be able to close that gap up on the softs, especially with them being on the hards?
It's very hard to say. I haven't really been looking at how quickly they've been closing, but I think it could be possible if they really push.
Ooh, but Ramos gets a bit sketchy there on the edge of Thingy. NRC Island and Avoki, them two are challenging each other there in the start of the second roundabout, and NRC Island gets ahead. Baloba's right close to Nicki Minaj. Darko Wade is behind them, 5-second gap. But also, I'm just having a look here, and Mr. Speediest of Adams has just said to me that I have actually got my top 3 as it stands is the top 3 I predicted. He said I went for Valex and not
the
Octane.
scenes.
Now,
The
if this comes in, guys, you need to come in the Discord and ask for your lottery numbers. Just gonna say. Okay, Roman gets ahead of Nicki Minaj and goes a bit wide. Nicki Minaj is going to have a challenge back to side by side now. Going into sector 3. Will Nicki Minaj try to swing it around the outside? There's not much room there. As Nicki Minaj does, it goes into the barrier. Not much room left there by Eke Baloba. It's a tough place to go side by side. And he's lost his entire front wing there. And that's a big hit there for Nicki Minaj in the Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't lose a wheel there with that hefty hit, but...
Darko Wade trying to go down the inside there of the struggling Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is going to come in and get that wing replaced, and it's going to be such a shame.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a shame for Nicki, because they're one of these people that, again, I just think the luck hasn't come their way. They've shown really great pace, especially in the opening laps with Nicki, just making up positions, doing quite well and just being sensible with the overtakes, but just later on in the race just does not come to them. The Storm sets the fastest lap of the race, but he is outside the top 10 at the moment, so that won't be for any points. It would just be for bragging rights and to take it away from someone else.
With Ramos, and he's right behind D6W. Them two are still battling for P4 at this current moment in time. Both pitted at the exact same time for the soft compound tyres. Both been very close to each other throughout the entire race, if I can remember rightly. So it'll be good to see which one of these two will be able to come out on top. But what a commanding race Skeefe he's had though. 12-second gap, absolutely cruising out in front in the Haas, and he's just smoked the competition. Yeah,
I think I'm going to stay away from commenting on his performance. Do not want to jinx the other hats. I'm just staying well clear.
if it happens, it happens. Because at the end of the day, if I don't commentate, then what's the point of me being here? So I've got to do it. And if it happens, then they've only got themselves to blame because they lost control of their car. That's how I put it in my head, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah. But it's interesting looking further back. D6W and Ramos still catching on mirrors. The gap's now down to 6 seconds. They're gaining maybe a second and a half a lap, so they might be able to get close enough. As I think D6W has now created a little gap. They just need to not battle each other. I think if they just sort of focus ahead, they might be able to get onto the back of mirrors, because those hard tyres I think are getting slower and slower at the minute. And these softs don't seem to be going off yet, and I don't think they will go off because they only seem to go off after about 6 laps, so they should be good to the end.
Yeah, they really should be. They'll last them that long, definitely. Mirrors could have a time penalty as well. We don't know the time penalty situations. I know I call them out, but we always forget because there's so much going on. And we like to wait to the end of the race, so even if he has a time penalty, Mirrors, that gap could get closed. That could put him under threat from both of Ramos and D6W. If they don't have penalties. Yeah,
and I think if these guys are just very sensible about it, they can get this done here, and they will. I think they will catch him. It'll be this third sector where they'll really gain, because they're going to get much better grip through these high-speed corners. Yeah, look at that time
tumbling down. That time is absolutely tumbling down, nearly just over 3 seconds at this moment in time, but it's going to drop, I have a feeling, as Ramos locks up there going into the second to last corner. Mirrors at this minute just trying to get to the end. He's got a podium in sight here, so does Valex. They've all the top 3 just trying to get to the end. They know there's not much they can do now. It's set in stone really where they're going to finish. It's just about staying there and making sure that gap doesn't close between him and D6W. We're also behind, we've got NRC Island, who is half a second now from R. Christoph. Ramos is 8 tenths away from D6W still. Darko Wade is 4 tenths behind his teammate of Eke Belova. And he's going to try and look to do something in turn 1, is he? No, he doesn't. Backs out with that. Don't want any contact there.
Yeah, NRC Island. The two Alfa Romeos going at it.
Yeah. Don't want to touch. You don't want the Sauber boys to be very disappointed with you. You don't want to touch there. Darko Wade is very close now, 4 tenths down. Now into 3.5 tenths, now 3 tenths. He sends it down the inside. The rune wasn't there, but he made sure the rune was there. Ekibaloba defended the inside, and he's got that jump done. Ramos is still behind D6W, unable to maybe try and make a move. Ireland gets past Christoph. Them two are side by side going into the hairpin. Christoph is going to try and defend down the inside, not able to do so. Ireland goes round the outside, and he moves up into P6.
Yeah, these soft tyres in this later stage of the race really coming into their own. D6W again is catching even more, but I don't think it's going to be enough at the minute. He's only really going to get there if Miraz makes a mistake, and at the moment he's been driving very well, so I don't see this this move happening.
Yeah, it's really been a weird race. It's been mainly just a cluster of everything happening. Of course, spinning, wing damage, strategies being absolutely ruined, strategies working absolutely perfectly. We've had great overtakes from Mirrors going down with D6W and Ramos when they were down the back straight. It's just been an absolute carnage race, exactly what we expected from Hanoi, but surprisingly, not one safety car.
No, we've only seen VSCs, which I've got to be honest is a little bit disappointing, but nevertheless we've had good action throughout. As Nicki Minaj picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Unfortunate for them.
Ramos now is still behind D6W. It's going to be this lap, and the next lap is going to be his only opportunities now to try and make this move. Now, can he close the gap as much as he can and try and maybe wait for the next lap on the final lap and give it everything, overtake the lot? Or does he try and stay where he is and get a bag full of points?
I think if he's going to go for the move, he's going to want to do it on that final lap, because realistically the long straight is the only opportunity you really have to overtake around here, and you don't want to do it one lap before the end and then give the other person a perfect opportunity to fight back. You want to steal it at the end and not give them any option to fight back at you. As I've just seen, D6W is within 3 seconds of Mirrors, so if he does have a 3-second penalty, could be an outside podium here, but we just don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
No, and now Ramos has actually dropped behind D6W. He's dropped 1.3 seconds down to 1.3 now, so he's out of DRS range.
Yeah, a bit of a struggle here.
Is the only person within, and he's on 9-lap-old mediums compared to Darkaway. Oh, as he hits the barrier there, as both Salvers seem to be really struggling here throughout this as they go on to their final lap. Skeefy, as he hits the barrier again, Ekibaloba, and that's not good for him. But Skeefy now is in Sector 3. He's about to enter Sector 3 now. He's about to come round the hairpin. And what a race this guy has done today. In fact, hold on. Ramos is in DRS range. I'm so sorry, Gibby. Ramos is in DRS range. Is he going to give it everything?
I think he can give it everything, but it just looks like he's way too far back to pick up any sort of toe there.
I think he is.
I think that's,
but Skeefy coming through Sector 3 now. What a race this man has had today in the Haas. P3 to P1. And it wasn't just that. It was how he's done it. A 15-second gap on the softs. Absolutely commanding race here. Dominated it all. Strategy worked perfectly. Coming around the final corner. It's Skeefy to take P1 here in Hanoi. And what a race it's been for him. Valex will surely come round the second to last corner to take P2 here in the McLaren. A good bunch of points for him, as both Saubers are battling further back. They're side by side. They're still not finished with this race. Mirrors crosses the line in P3, D6W P4, Ramos in P5, so the top 5 stay the same after penalty situations. Darker Wade picks up a 3-second time penalty on the last lap. Ireland comes round the final corner. He takes P6, but he has an unserved time penalty. Christoph goes P6 then, Ireland into P7. Avoki's coming round the final corner. Now he's going to take P8. Darker Wade and Baloba are still side by side going into the final corner. The Saubers not letting up as they cross the line side by side. And Baloba takes it. Storm loses it. Storm loses it on the final corner. He was going to take 11th, and he loses it on the final corner and sends it into the wall. Look at that stricken Haas there, right before the line. That's such a shame for him. That's a big smack in the face for Storm. One Haas having an absolutely outstanding race, and the other Haas absolutely atrocious. Not atrocious, has an appalling race. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say. Absolutely appalling race compared to his teammate, as Arndt is the last person to cross the line, and he'll take P14. What a race.
It was a
very interesting race. Many different ways of stuff going on. Was definitely very interesting. But that was crazy, to be perfectly honest. I think David just lost it completely on the last corner. I think his hearts were worn and they were gone, and he was struggling, and he just lost it on the last corner.
Yeah, I think he was on soft tyres towards the end there after he had his spin, but yeah, shame to see him crash out right on the last corner. But one thing we haven't actually discussed yet is driver of the day. I think for me it's got to be Skeefy. Just perfect performance from him.
Completely agree.
There are some other contenders there with Ramos, and I think Avoki had a very good race, making up a lot of positions. But I think just for that incredible performance, it's got to go to Skeefy.
Absolutely, I completely agree. I don't know who the game gave it to. They normally give it to the person who made the most places, so that probably would have been somebody like Ramos.
I think it was Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos has made 10 places. He had a really good race himself, battling with D6W all the way through. But Skeefy, you are definitely mine and Gibby's driver of the day for that absolutely commanding performance. P3 to P1, perfect strategy. Use the virtual safety car to your advantage, and you've got that job done. I think that is your first victory this season, and isn't it well deserved? Absolutely brilliant there from Skeefy and the Haas. To round out our top 10, it's Skeefy, Valex, Mirrors, D6W, Ramos, Christoph, Avoki, Ireland, Eke Beloba, and Darko Wade. Absolutely brilliant race here on the streets of Hanoi, and what a place this is.
Yeah, definitely seemed a little bit more eventful than what Div 1 was for me, but I'm not sure. I didn't see other people's races, but good to see a little bit of chaos, but not too much.
Well, it's Division 3 tomorrow. I'll be in that mess tomorrow, and I cannot wait for Gibby. I cannot wait for that mess tomorrow here in Division 3. It's 7:30, the same time as here it is here in Division 2. Skeefy, once again, you are our driver of the day, and congratulations on your first race win of the season. I've been Dame Zero, your lead commentator, alongside me with Mr. ERN Gibby. We hope you have enjoyed this stream. Once again, we'll be back next week with me in Division 2 and Division 1, Sunday 5 o'clock, and Division 2 at 7:30. Tomorrow you have Division 3 with D6W, I think it is, and is it you, Gibby?
And Ramos. No, it's
and
D6W and Ramos. Yeah.
Ramos. Yep. I forgot about Ramos. I do apologise, Ramos. With them two tomorrow, so you'll have all that to look forward to. Hopefully it doesn't rain, because highly likely the odds aren't looking in Division 3's favour here in Vietnam. We've had two dry races, and the wet race is going to come. The wet race is going to come, and it's going to come for us. That's not going to be good. But we hope it doesn't. We just got to pray. We've got to pray. But anyway,
I'll be praying for it to be wet.
Oh, well, of course you would. You'll be laughing at me like, But anyway, it's been us here at European Race Night, and we hope you have enjoyed. We'll catch you all next time, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.